Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Success Academy. I'm Shashan Dias, and in this video, we are going to talk about how you can get your band score of essay writing from band 5 to band 7.5. Alright guys, before we get started with the official video, what I want you to know is that on the 3rd of July, that's a Wednesday, from 7 to 9, we are hosting a free online webinar on how to write the perfect essay. Alright, we're going to host an IELTS essay writing webinar. So basically in this webinar, we are going to cover A to Z, everything that you need to know about IELTS essay writing. We're going to look at the structure, the marking criteria, how to improve your cohesive devices, how to improve your vocabulary, how to improve your overall connectivity or coherence and cohesion. We are also going to look at idea generation. We're basically going to cover every single thing that you need to know about IELTS essay writing. All right. So make sure to attend this webinar. If you want to attend the webinar, my number is down below in the description. You can find that and you can drop us a message. All right. You will not have to attend any classes or anything once you come to this webinar. Everything you need to know will be covered here. All right. With that being said, let's go on to our first tip when it comes to improving your IELTS score at IELTS essay writing. Guys, the first thing that you have to understand about IELTS essay writing is that you need to have a proper structure to your essay. If you don't have a structure, there is no way that you can get to a band 6.5 plus score. All right. Maybe they might give you a band 5, a 5.5. If you're really good with your vocabulary, your cohesive devices and all of those things, maybe you might get a 6. But anything above 6.5 is going to be impossible to get if you do not know the right structure to writing your essay. Okay, so everybody knows that you need to have an introduction, body and conclusion. Now, everybody knows this, everybody writes this, but what is included in your introduction? What is included in your body paragraph? What is included in your conclusion? Now that is the real question. All right. So in your introduction, there are 3 things that you need to show. You first need to show the examiner that you have understood the question. So what do? You paraphrase the statement which they have given. Every question has a fact-based statement. This statement needs to be paraphrased in order for you to show the examiner that you have clearly understood the question. The second thing that you need to do is you need to have an opinion of your own. Guys, all the essays you get, okay, some people believe that for certain types of essays, you don't have to write your opinion. This is not true. For every single essay, you have to show the examiner that you have clearly understood what the question is and what is your opinion about this question. Now, if you don't have an opinion about the question, how are you going to defend that opinion? How are you going to write an answer to showcase what your opinion is? It's impossible. So the second thing you need to do is write your opinion about the essay. The third thing that you need to do in your introduction is to write the structure in which you are going to write the essay. So for example, if you're going to say, I'm going to write 2 advantages to show why I agree with this topic, then you need to write that. When you say, I'm going to write 2 advantages, it's clear to the examiner that you are going to write 2 body paragraphs. All right, so advantage 1 and advantage 2. If you're going to write an advantage and a disadvantage, you can say, in the following essay, I'm going to write an advantage and a disadvantage to give a balanced perspective about this topic, followed by a conclusion. Now the examiner knows you're going to write an advantage, a disadvantage, and a conclusion. Now your introduction is complete. You have shown the examiner you understood the question, you showed him what your opinion is, and you showed him how you are going to structure the essay. With this type of introduction, there is no room for the examiner to cut the marks. All right. Then when you go into a body paragraph, all right, The first thing you need to do in a body paragraph is you need to consider your body paragraph as a mini essay. So again, every body paragraph needs to have an introduction, body, and conclusion. Your introduction is your topic sentence. What is the fact? What is the point you're going to write in this body paragraph? Okay. So if you're going to write about, let's say your topic is about water pollution. Okay. You're going to write reasons for water pollution. So one of the first things you can write is dumping of plastic or plastic waste into waterways. Okay. So that is the topic sentence you're going to write in your first body paragraph. Then you can explain it a little bit more, maybe write 2 or 3 lines. This is a part of, in your body paragraph, the body paragraph. Does that make sense? So in your body paragraph, now you're writing the introduction, body, and conclusion. So the introduction was the point you're going to write. A part of your body is the explanation. Okay, so you explain that point which you are going to write. Then you need to give a clear example. Okay, if you do not have a clear example, you can't give a generic example. Okay, you can't generalize and give an example. You have to give a very specific example of plastic being put into the waterways. You can reference a company, maybe a big company, an industrial company, and you can say this particular company puts out, let's say, 600 tons of plastic waste into the oceans every year. All right. So like that, a very specific example you have to give. And finally, you have to conclude your body paragraph. What does that mean? You need to summarize the point which you said in your body paragraph, and then you need to connect it to the question and say, because of this reason, waterways are being polluted. Make sense? Now again, there is no room for the examiner to cut the marks, because you have given a topic sentence, you have given an introduction, you have explained it, you have given a specific example, you have concluded it and connected it back to the question. Where are the marks going to be cut? Nowhere. Right? So you write 2 body paragraphs in this way, and finally you get to the conclusion. In the conclusion, what you have to do is very simple. Reiterate your opinion, whatever opinion you had right at the beginning, just reiterate it, say it again. Summarize your points, whatever 2 body paragraphs or 3 body paragraphs that you wrote, just summarize it. And finally, the last point can be a point of your own. All right, this can be a quotation, this can be a call to action, something that you are comfortable with writing, but it has to be a powerful ending. Okay, so your opinion, summarize the points, and a powerful ending. This structure, guys, now in our free webinar, I'm going to show you examples. I'm going to take a topic as an example and show you. But very simply, if you guys follow this structure, we have done structure-based videos before. You can go and check those out as well. But without this structure, you can't go for a higher band score, simply because your answer needs to be pleasant to read. There has to be coherence. There has to be cohesion throughout your answer. And one of the easiest ways to do this, and even insert the right cohesive devices, is to have the right structure. All right. So understanding this structure and writing your essay exactly according to this structure, trust me, guys, we have got people who can barely write English, who have got band 4.5, band 5 scores before they came to us, and then turned that around and got a band 6.5, band 7. All right. We haven't worked miracles in terms of getting a 4.5 guy to a band 9, right? Because sometimes a lot of other things come into play as well. But getting someone from 4.5 essay writing to a band 6, a 6.5 is very possible, simply because they haven't followed the right structure. We have got guys who got band 6.5. These are people with good English, and then turn them into band 8.5 simply because of following the right structure. So trust me, this plays a huge part when you are writing your essay. All right. So pay attention to it. Start writing in that way. Makes sense? The second thing that you have to do is insert the right cohesive devices. Guys, when you're starting a paragraph, for your first paragraph, for example, you need to add the cohesive device that says to begin with or firstly, to show that this is the first paragraph that you're writing. If you don't include that, it's very indecisive. It's inconclusive as to what you are doing, right? And that is why cohesive devices, connecting words, are very important. Now, if your first body paragraph and your second body paragraph agrees with each other, you can just create an add-on cohesive device. For example, you can say furthermore, moreover, all right? You can say secondly, you can say in addition to that, right? But if your second body paragraph does not connect or does not agree with the first, you can say something like, on the other hand, on the flip side, on the contrary, right? You can use cohesive devices like that to show that, okay, the first body paragraph and the second body paragraph are not necessarily the same. They're disagreeing with each other. When you're giving an example, you can say, for example, you can say, for instance, okay? When you're explaining something, you can say, to elaborate in detail, to explain this further. Every time you say it, now don't repeat the same cohesive device as well. Don't always say, for example, for example, for example, for example. For example, for instance, to give you an example, right? Or to make this more clearer, right? You can use different phrases like that when you start running out of words. But always try to have new vocabulary included, new cohesive devices included, simply to show that you are able to connect your sentences and create a flow to your answer in a better way. Because if there is a nice flow, that means you have had good coherence and cohesion. All right. So the examiner will be compelled to give you more marks. Okay. So if you follow our structure, like I said, this structure has specific cohesive devices that you can use. Okay. So for example, if you're writing the first body paragraph, you can say firstly. When you're explaining that point, you can say to explain this further. When you are writing the example, you can say for instance. And when you're concluding that paragraph, you can say in summary. When you're doing the second one, you can say on the contrary. To elaborate this in detail. For example, and in a nutshell is how you can end it. When you use these cohesive devices, already you have used 8 throughout your essay, right? Then it's just a matter of adding more where necessary, right? Even cohesive devices, you don't have to add for the sake of adding it, right? You just need to add it where it is necessary. So add it where it's necessary, and trust me, your marks will go up. Your band score will improve, all right? The third thing is improving your lexical resources, and that is your general vocabulary, all right? How can you improve the vocabulary that you are using to write your essays? Guys, no one can work wonders. Okay, no one can work miracles and teach you 10, 15, 20 new words every day and then get you to write it in the right context. Impossible. Okay. What is realistic is every day you can try to write an essay on a different theme. Okay. Let's say you take 10 days. 10 days in a row, you write 10 essays on 10 different themes. The next 10 days, you follow the same themes, but of course, different essay topics. Okay, same theme, but different essay topics. Now you're cycling the same 10 themes for about, let's say, 3 times. You do this same thing 3 times. But of course, remember the essay topics are different. The theme is the same. So now you're writing 3 essays under the same theme. Every time you write an essay under that particular theme, select 4 new words. Right, 3 or 4 new words that you can incorporate into this essay. Words that can be used under this theme. Okay, words that can be used under this theme. And try to incorporate it into your essay every time you write. Okay, that means if you're doing 10 different themes, under 10 different themes, you're learning 3 new words. Okay, that means 30 new words. But of course, keep in mind, since these are theme specific, they might not be able to be used. You might not be able to use them in every type of essay you write. And that's a reality, right? No matter how many words we learn, we can only include so much in a particular type of essay. All right. So at least 3 per theme is what you can aim for. So those 3 words you would have learned properly well. All right. And you can include it in the right context into your essay. Very simple. All right. So this is a technique that you can follow to improve your vocabulary effectively, because not only are you learning these new words, but you are also putting it into practice in the right context, which makes it very easy to replicate it at the exam. All right. So that's something that you can work on. The next thing that you can do to improve your vocabulary is to listen and engage in conversation. All right. So listening to new information is very important if you want to engage in conversation with someone, because you need to have something to talk about. Okay, so you can listen to things like podcasts. You can listen to, now even we started a podcast, all right? So you would have seen the past 2 weeks, we put out a few podcast episodes. And the reason we did this is to help you improve your vocabulary. And the second one, which we will talk about next, is idea generation, all right? But it will also help you improve your vocabulary. You learn new words, you learn new phrases, and you will be able to use them in your day-to-day conversation. But listening to these podcasts and listening to these videos only is not enough. You need to put this into practice. So you need to talk with other people, and you need to be able to converse with them under a particular topic. All right. So the more you talk with someone regarding a particular topic, the more vocabulary you will be able to develop, the more ideas you'll be able to develop. All right. So I'm going to just group in idea generation here as well, simply because idea generation is also following the same process. You need to listen to new information, and then you need to talk with someone to develop those ideas. So both vocabulary or lexical resources and your ideas can be improved by listening and speaking. Guys, trust me, the only thing you need to do to improve your vocabulary are two things. Well, when I say only thing and then I say two things, it's a bit contradictory. So there are actually two things that you can do to improve your vocabulary and your idea generation. Okay, you need to start writing. Okay, so the more essays you write, the more vocabulary, the more ideas are going to develop. But what is easier than that is to speak. If you actually pick a partner, if you actually take a friend and you start talking with them on a daily basis about different topics. Guys, when Hasib and I or Kavink and I, when we talk about different topics, right? When we talk about different conversations, what we come and do at the podcast is also actually what we do in our day-to-day lives. We sit and talk with each other about things that we find interesting. All right? And that is simply what you can do. Just select an IELTS topic that you find interesting, and then you guys have a conversation about it. Trust me, guys, nothing will improve your vocabulary more than doing these two things. Okay? Writing and speaking. And out of those two, the more effective one is speaking. Because to write, you have to sit and put in an effort and start writing. With speaking, you don't have to do any of that. Just sit and start talking with a friend about what you enjoy. It's nice. You bond better. You have made a better friend, right? And you have improved your vocabulary, your ideas, and in turn, you'll be able to write a better essay. All right. Okay, so I hope these points made sense to you. And like I said, if you want to learn A to Z, everything about essay writing, and of course, we're doing it in more detail. We have a presentation. We're going to give you points. We're going to take examples. And we're really going to dive deep into essay writing. If you want to join this, please drop me a message on the number below. The number is in the description. And make sure to stay tuned to the channel, guys. We have some exciting things coming up. We have more podcast episodes. We have more teaching videos. Everything IELTS related is going to be on the Success Academy channel. So stay tuned to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell. Share this with a friend and drop a comment below if you found this video helpful. Alright guys, so till our next video, keep practicing.